we've got to talk about the Dallas Mavericks and what is happening in Dallas right now. 2-6 on the season after a dreadful loss to the Pelicans. Dreadful loss to New Orleans. I don't think anyone expected the Mavericks to uh, burst out of the gate. You know, we knew they had problems at point guard with Kyrie Irving out. There was going to be a learning curve for Cooper Flag. But some of the things I'm seeing, Evan, are very, very ominous. And I would start with the 3-point shooting. Like, this team cannot make a 3-point shot. They can, and this is a team that has some pretty good 3-point shooters. I want to read some of these 3-point shooting percentages so far this season. Klay Thompson, one of the all-time great 3-point shooters, 29.2%. D'Angelo Russell, who is streaky, I'll give you that, but he's shooting 31.1% from three. Cooper Flag, 29%. PJ Washington, 28%. Anthony Davis, 27%. Caleb Martin, 25%. You go down the list, they are Najee Marshall, 15%. The only guy on this team making 3-point shots at a high level is Max Christie. Max Christie is shooting close to 50% from three. Jaden Hardy's been fine, 35%, but everybody else has been abysmal, and that is costing the Mavericks games. What's been your kind of takeaway from watching Dallas this early in the season?
I knew something was up when they tried to start Cooper Flag at the point guard position. It was two different things. There's one thing that showed me like what, two things. I think they're like, yo, we need all our firepower to click ASAP. So let me know that they weren't as sure in their depth. But I was like, Cooper Flag's never played point guard. It's a high level to have to play. And when you're sitting still, like to be able to get out and run, a lot has to go right. Your defense, like he has to be very, very, very advanced in order to be an 18-year-old to run an offense for the first time ever. So that didn't really shock me. I knew eventually they could have a chance to click. I like these pieces if everybody was healthy. But I mean, they're struggling to score in the paint. You know what I mean? They're struggling just to get a rhythm going. I just feel like even with Klay Thompson, I thought he would be way better early on, just to even make shots, to be able to lead. And it seems like besides Anthony Davis, your next best player is D'Angelo Russell. And we kind of seen how those teams kind of go when it's D'Angelo Russell-led team. They just took Klay Thompson off the starting lineup, put him on the bench, which I think would be great in the sense of if these guys just want to start rebuilding now. Because I believe Max Christie's doing well enough this year where he can be able to learn from, Klay, be able to get his feet under him. If you want Cooper Flag to develop, this is exactly how the team is going to look if you're worried about an 18-year-old developing, especially when your main go-to guy, your center's out. And I just think they're trying to make the most out of it, and I just don't see them being great right away. I think they're going to lose a lot of tough games, and I would like to see them start getting the young guys together, rebuild and get into a rebuilding motion where by the time next year comes, how many years does AD have on that deal?
Got a couple years left after this one, but I mean, we're now like, to me, because of AD's injury history and how I don't think his game is going to age great because of that injury history, you're really looking at a 2-year window here. You're looking at this season, probably the next one, to maximize him. Look, they have the worst offense in the NBA. They're 30th in offensive efficiency. They're a good defensive team, top 5 defensively, and that's what Nico Harrison said they needed to be when he made this Cooper Flag deal. And we have to acknowledge, like, they're missing an all-NBA point guard. Kyrie Irving is great. Like, they're missing Kyrie. And, whenever he comes back and, Jason Kidd's kind of dropped some hints that maybe it could happen sometime in December, if not December, sometime in January, their offense is going to take off. It's going to take Kyrie a little bit of time to get back, but he's going to make them measurably better. But, like, Jason Kidd has talked about this. Like, the shots they're missing are wide open. Like, they're getting wide open threes, and good 3-point shooters are not making the shot. Like, the Klay Thompson stuff is befuddling. Like, I didn't expect him to fall off this proverbial cliff and to be this bad. Not from three, not to be a sub 30% 3-point shooter.
I'm gonna be honest with you. With Klay, it doesn't shock me too much because it's been 2 injuries for sure. coming from a guy who liked to like enjoy himself and party, we all know from age like 27 to 32, you got to kind of lock in and take care of your body. So you see some of those guys from the older classes like Jimmy Butler's still around, DeMar DeRozan is still around, even Steph. Like you have to be OD about taking care of your body. So it never shocked me that like pretty soon Clay is going to slow down. He kind of fought the writings on the wall in Golden State and threw a hissy fit and then ran in Dallas. So I think like when it comes down to like, no, Clay isn't going to shoot terribly, but Clay has to, like Ray Allen, who Ray Allen's a better shooter, like is a better shooter than, accept his role and do what's best for the team so you can develop and make the most out of young talent. Love Clay Thompson to death, bro, but that shit's in the past, champ. It's a Cooper Flag time now. Get Max Christie ready now, a kid that can shoot it and decides to rebound and pass with his 20 points every blue moon. And then allow D'Angelo Russell to find you and be in the right position. But they have a great team. It's just like I feel like if people buy into it, I feel like the vets need to step up a little bit more and accept their roles and the way they're going to go. We're in rebuild to get the young guys ready, and when Kyrie comes back, it's going to benefit off that. Clay, at very best, you're going to be a lights out role player. That's it.
Which is what he was trending towards in Golden State at the very end. Played decent in Dallas last year, but the fact that he's sub 30%, 8-9 games into the season is wild. There's some weird numbers in Dallas. Like they're one of the worst offensive rebounding teams in the NBA. Like how do you start three guys that are like 6'10 and above and be the worst offensive rebounding team in the NBA? I don't understand how that math works.
I don't know either. So I don't want to call it soft, but I just think it's a mentality issue. It's 1,000% a mentality issue. So,
well, you know what it is, and you can tell me if you think I'm wrong on this. Like AD consistently says I'm a 4, right? He's been saying this for years. Like New Orleans, LA, now in Dallas, he wants to be a 4. Yeah. I think because of that, it's given him, and just from some of the games I've watched, I see him a lot in the perimeter, man. I see him a lot on the outside, and look, it saves his body a little bit by not having to grind in the middle all the time. I get all that, but you need AD in the paint. Like you need him defending the rim. You need him rebounding on both ends of the floor. You need him physical. Like you don't need him, popping 18-footers or shooting threes or anything like that. You need him in the middle. And I think because Dallas has the personnel to allow Davis to play 4 a lot, it's kind of giving him some freedom to float a little bit on the outside. I think that's affecting some of their rebounding numbers.
I think it's affecting some of the rebounding numbers, and you also see in some of the games he played, the points in the paint aren't as well either. You know what I mean? They haven't done great from points in the paint. You see versus the Pistons, they got outscored 52-14. Versus Spurs, it's like 50-12. Something crazy along those lines. And I feel like when you're trying to set the tone and you're struggling to score right now, you have to get to the free throw line as much as possible. And you got to make sure you put the pressure on the defense. And you know what I mean? Try to see some of the balls go in and give yourself an opportunity to muck up the game and make the game closer. Even last game, they missed the Pelicans are missing a lot of their main players, and the Mavericks still struggle to score 100 points.
Yeah, they got to figure some of this offensive stuff out. 30th is not going to get it done. I don't think Kyrie alone is going to solve all those problems. And you can't expect Kyrie to be Kyrie, like at least not for a few months. It's going to take him a while to get over that ACL injury.
Are you against them? Like if they're already last in the Western Conference, are you against them just being like, hey, let's just rebuild and get all our guys healthy?
Good luck with Nico Harrison having that conversation with Patrick Dumont, the owner there. Like good luck with that. Like listen, we just traded Luka Doncic last December. This December, we are going to rebuild the whole thing. We're going to trade Anthony Davis and rebuild around Cooper Flag. Somebody else would have to do that, Evan. Like a new GM would have to do that.
I don't even think like trading Anthony Davis. I just think like, man, if he's going to keep getting hurt by the time January hits, and he's been hurt a million times by at this point, like just sit him down and let the young guys get some rhythm. Like let this be a Cooper Flag developmental year.
I don't think that Nico Harrison can do that.
Yeah.
I think, look, if they fired him and replaced him with somebody else, maybe that new GM with more of a runway than Nico has could do it, but I don't think Nico can do it. I think they've got to go all in and cross their fingers and hope that Kyrie comes back sooner than later.